guys, I'm Lisa and I'm back with another video. Today I want to share with you a series or a video about all of the series that I want to try and work on over the year. Or well, I won't hit myself over the head if I don't get to any of the series, but these are the series that I have on my radar for the year. I have selected I think it's 23 to 25 series. I'm a little uncertain about the number. I put it in a spreadsheet, and I have only picked out series where I have at least more than one book left to read. Some of them I know I'm going to probably finish this year, but the others are sort of, I would like to try and get back to this series. It's like, all in all, it's like 87 books, so I know it's not gonna happen that I'm reading all of them, but I just have a handful of books for each series. Some I know that I'll finish and I've put all of the books on, and yeah. So these are the series that I plan on trying to work my way through, or make progress on over the year. First up, the Discworld series. I don't think it's any surprise at all that it's on this list. I have 11 books. I had 11 books left of this series when I started this year. Now I have 10. I finished the first one. It's both a little bit, I mean, I'm looking forward to reading all of them, but I'm also a little bit ambivalent about it because, you know, it's my favorite author, and at some point this series is going to be over. There's not going to be any more books, and I know we're privileged with the fact that we actually have 41 books in this series, and a lot of people find it too daunting to even start it because of that. But I love this series so much, and I like the fact that it's so many different sub-series set in this world that makes it fresh every time you pick up a book. But okay, so the books that I have left to read, or the books for this year, was Monstrous Regiment, which I already read. Then there's A Hatful of Sky, the next book in the Tiffany Aching series. Then there's Going Postal, which is an Industrial Revolution series, which I have heard that everyone really loves this one. Like they think of this as one of their favorite Discworlds of all time. Then there's Thought, a Sid Watch book. There's Wintersmith, another Tiffany Aching. Making Money, another Industrial Revolution, also in the I think this one, along with Going Postal, is one of the favorites, people's favorites. At least that's what I've heard. And then there's Unseen Academicals, which is the last and final Rincewind book. Then there's I Shall Wear Midnight, another Tiffany Aching. Snuff, another City Watch. And Racing Steam, another Industrial Revolution. And finally, The Shepherd's Crown, the last and final Terry Pratchett book, which is a Tiffany Aching book. And I know that Terry Pratchett actually didn't manage to finish writing this one before he passed away. There are still a couple of things left in order for the book to be complete, and I wonder if I'll be able to tell when I read it. So it's a little bit sad, but I'm still happy that at least we got a final book out for this series and can sort of say that now it's finished. Another book series that I hope to finish this year is or catch up to, actually, because there's a new book coming out this year. So which I didn't know, but there's a new book coming out this year, and that's the Gaslight mystery. So I have books 19 to 24, so I have 5 books left in this series. So I'm going to read one of these books every other month, approximately. So the books that I have left on this is Murder on Morningside Heights. Then there's Murder in the Bowery. Then there's Murder on Union Square, Murder on Trinity Place, Murder on Pleasant Avenue, and Murder on Wall Street is the one that comes out this year. And another series that I really like to try and get back to. I only read 2 books from this series last year. I had it on my stack in this series and wanted to read 5 books, I think. But you know, it's nice to have this and know that I can get back to it. I do really enjoy it. I just decided that I didn't have time for this one alongside all of the others. So I have put down Elemental Assassins again. This is by Jennifer Estep. This is an urban fantasy series following elemental magicians, kind of people that can control elements. And the first one, the 5 books that I have on my list is Heart of Venom, The Spider, Poison Promise, Black Widow, and Spider's Trap. So these are the 5 books on the list. For another series I would really like to try and get through this year, or finish this year. I don't know if that's gonna happen because they're all a little bit large, but I would really like to try and make progress and or finish it, and that is the Greatcoats series by Sebastien de Castell. I have Night Shadow up for this month. I'm planning on starting it on Monday actually, or maybe tomorrow already, considering, depending on when I finish my current book. But this is a series that follows these it has sort of a Three Musketeers vibe. And then I have books 3 and 4 as well. Night Shadow is the second book, and then we have Saint's Blood, I think, and then Tyrant's Throne as the last one. Yeah, book 4, it says on back here. So these 3 books hopefully will get read over the year, otherwise I'll be fine. Another fantasy series that I really like to finish is the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. I have 2 books left in this one, so I would love to finish them, but I currently have 1 book on my TBR for the year, and that is Ruin. But I also have Wrath. If I enjoy both and get through both, I would be extremely happy. Then there's a series that I'd really like to get back into again. I read 9 books of this series, and it's like, I don't know, somewhere in the 50s in terms of number of series books. I'm a little uncertain. But that is the In Death series by J.D. Robb. As I said, I read the first 9. I have it's actually been standing here. I know this is the collection. I can hear it. It's an audio collection. And my only reason for not having picked it up is because I know I'm going to have to listen to it in 1 time speed, which I haven't done in so long. So I think it's going to be such a weird experience, considering I'm so used to them speaking faster. But I do really enjoy the narrative of the audio, so I will be fine. But Witness in Death I have in that one, and that's the last one I have in that collection. And then I'm gonna start out by reading them from the library, because the library has like all of the books in that series. So I have Judgment in Death, Betrayed in Death, Betrayal in Death, and Seduction in Death, and Reunion in Death. So that is books 10 to 14. I just put down 5 books, because if I can get through 5 books of this, that would be great. But even if I can only get through a couple of them, then just the fact that I can sort of tick off a box, that's gonna be fun. A series I'd really like to get back to, but I just noticed that the library hasn't got the books any longer. Or it has the first 3, but those are the 3 books that I've already read, and that is the Charley Davidson series. I don't know if I'm going to stick with this one. We'll see if it pops back up later. But the Charley Davidson series by Darynda Jones, I have books put down books. I don't know why I've put down books 5 to 9 when I've only read the first 3, but I have books 4, 5, I should have book 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8 on here, but I have books 5 to 9, so 4th grade something, I'll put the cover here, I don't remember the exact title. Then we have 5th grade Past the Light, 6th grade On the Edge, 7th grade And Nobody, 8th grade After Dark, and Dirt on the 9th Grave. This is a book series that is an urban fantasy that follows a Grim Reaper who's able to see ghosts, and sort of uses that as with a private detective, working as a private detective, because she can see ghosts and she can talk to murder victims and sort of try to clue herself into who was behind all of the things. And then there's some other things that runs over the multiple books, but otherwise it's just a case of the week kind of thing with every book. Next up, I would like to make progress on the Changeling series that I started last year, and I have the next 3, but I've still put down 5 books. I don't think I'm gonna get to 5 books, but I have the next 3 in line already. First up we have Vision in Heat, then we have Caressed by Eyes, and Mind to Possess. And these are books 2 to 4 of the Changeling. Other than that, I also have put down Hostage to Pleasure and Branded by Fire down, so I have the next 5 books down here. Then I'd like to continue or finish off the Percy Jackson world kind of thing. I still haven't finished them, and I would really like to. So I have the last 3 books of the Trials of Apollo series to finish, and the 3 books are The Burning Maze, and The Tyrant's Tomb, and The Tower of Nero. And I'll try and get to the audios of these over the year and finish them, and then I'm also hoping to actually restart my reading of the Percy Jackson universe. So maybe I'm gonna do that first and work my way through it, and then get to Tower of New the last 3 books in the Trials of Apollo series. And then I'd also really like to read the Kane Chronicles, but that's the start of a new trilogy, so I'll wait around with that one, but I'd like to at least finish this one. Another series that I'd like to make progress on, or finish actually, is the Lady Helen series. This is a historical fantasy type book series, and I've read the first one, and that is the second book is called Dark Days Pact, and this third one is called The Dark Days Deceit, and these are books 2 to 3 of the Lady Helen series. And I really enjoyed the first one, and I think I'm gonna really enjoy the second one as well, but I just haven't made time for it, so it's gonna be good, I think. Then I have the Ryiria Revelation series, a trilogy series that I would like to finish. I have the second bind up here that's Rise of Empire, and then I would like to get to Heir of Novran as well. I mean, that's if I am able, but I really like to at least get to this one this year and finish this and make progress on it, and it's gonna be good. Then I have the Full Metal Alchemist series that I really like to finish. I have a volume of it here from the library, but I have the next 5 volumes, volume 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22, just the next 5 volumes. And same goes with Fruits Basket, in which I have volume 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Just so that I can make progress on these 2 manga series and get closer to finish them, because I feel like I've been working on them for so long, and they're not very time consuming books or reads, so I don't know why I'm not making progress quicker. But I don't read a whole lot of manga, but I do enjoy it when I do. So then I have a historical romance trilogy that I'd like to finish, and that's The Loyal League by Alyssa Cole. I have the second book on my Kindle. I haven't been able to get an audio of it because it's not available on Audible for me, and neither is it on Storytel, but I have an ebook of it, so it's fine. I'm gonna read it on my Kindle, and then I will listen to the last one. And those are A Hope Divided and An Unconditional Freedom, and I really enjoyed this one. It's a Civil War set historical romance following an interracial romance between, at least the first one was between a white and a black man. White man and a black woman, and I think this next one is the same, and then maybe the last one will be a black man and a white woman, but who am I to know? But I really enjoyed the first one. I think Alyssa Cole is awesome, and I need to read more of her books, and I really also would like to get to her contemporary romance series, but I'm gonna go with the ones I already have. And I'd really love to try and see if I can make my way through the Chronicles of Amber by Roger Zelazny. I still have the last 3 books in the series to read, and that is Sign of Chaos, Knight of Shadows and Prince of Chaos. These are following a new protagonist, and I'm not as into that era as what was to the first one, but I hope that the last 3 books will be okay, and I'm looking forward to make my way through it. They're not very long, the books on its own, but it just feels like such a chore because it's so big. The next one I have is the Darkest Rising sequence by Susan Cooper. I have 3 books left in this bind-up series, and I read the first 2. I would like to try and make my way through it over the year. I'm not sure how to pronounce their 3rd book. I think it's Greenwich, like the area, or is it Greenwich? Like I would say. I'm uncertain, so bear with me if it's wrong. Then there's the Grey King and the Silver on the Tree. Those are the last 3 remaining books in the series. It's an Arthurian Legends retelling kind of thing, and I enjoyed the first one. Wasn't super into the second one, but still enjoyed it. But I'm looking forward to this series when it continues. It takes a while to read them because the text is so extremely small. So yeah, but I'm hoping to make my progress on it over the year. Then I have an audio series that I haven't read from since I read the first book in 2019, I think, and I really enjoyed that. I know that the audio narrator is actually one of I usually really enjoy. She narrates the Night Hunter series, and that is the Firebird series by Claudia Gray. It is a sort of not time travel, or well, it is time travel in a way, but it's also portal fantasy kind of stuff. Like it travels between dimensions, but it's a different time. They're sort of a different place, so it could be a Russia in the 1800s kind of thing, or it could be Russia in our time, or New York in our time, or something like that. And then she has this Firebird, which is a locket, and she can travel between those places. And I really enjoyed the first one. So the second one is called 10,000 Skies Above You, and then we have A Million Worlds with You. And I remember picking the first book up and not being very excited about it, because I thought I'd heard mixed things. But I ended up really enjoying it, and I think partly that the narration of the audiobook made it a lot better, because I really like her audio narration style. She's good at doing different accents. She has, like, there was a British, there was an American English, there was a Russian type of accent, and it was something that worked really well for me. Next up I have the Pandava Quartet by Roshani. She has, there's a fourth one coming out this year, I think, but I have only read the first one. So I have Arusha and the Song of Death, Arusha and the Tree of Witches, and then we have Arusha and the City of Gold, which is the last and final one in this quartet. I expect there's going to be more than 4 books, otherwise why would you call it a quartet? So I really am looking forward to this. I enjoyed the first one. I think the first book reminded me a lot of Riordan's books, just with a different mythology. And I do really enjoy that writing style. I do enjoy the humor. I do enjoy the sort of feel you get. But it's not my favorite Riordan Present series. But I will really like to move forward with these. Then I have put down Lord Pity Whimsy, a classic mystery series. Because I have the next 2 books on my Kindle, so I thought I would try and see if I can't get through them, and maybe with the help of an audio alongside. We have Cloud of Witness, Unnatural Death, The Unpleasantness. I just rounded The Unpleasantness ... so I don't actually know the title, but the 4th book is called this. Yeah, I'll figure it out, but I wasn't room for the whole title, so it's probably long. Then we have Strong Poison. I know that I own that one. And then we have the Fire Red Herrings, which I've heard mixed things about, but those are books 2 to 6 of the Lord Pity Whimsy series. Another series I really like to get back to and finish is the Cushlow Saga, which is an urban fantasy series written by L.L. McNeil. I read the first book and really enjoyed it. The second book is called Crimson Bone, then we have Crimson Fang and Crimson Soul being the last one. So I'm hoping that I can get through all 3, or at least continue with the series. I think I have an arc of the second book that I never got around to read, and I feel a little bit bad about that, so I'm sorry. But I do think I have that actually. Then I also have a series by a German author that I really would like to continue and finish. I read the first book, really loved it, and then lent the second book from the library but didn't get around to reading it at the time, and that is the series called Duftapotheket. It's like scent and sort of a pharmacy, apothecary type thing with all of these small bottles with different scents, and the different scents can do different things in the world around us. And the second book is called Den gådefulde sorte blomst, the riddle-filled black flower, and the third one is called Mesterens falske spil, or the champion's false play, or fall play, or something like that. And then we have the most recent one that comes out I think this year, is called Den sorte duftturnering, the black scents tournament. Then I have a Danish fantasy series that I have all books. I read the first one and I would like to finish this one, and it is by Mikkel Vendelbo, and it is called Anja Fablen, I think, and it is a fantasy series that mixes fae fantasy and dinosaurs in world, and it's very fascinating. And the second one is called The Demon's Web. The third one is called On Elbow Feet. The fourth one is called The Soul Thief's Story or History. History is the same word whether it is just a story that you tell, or it's actually historical events that you're talking about. So we use the same word for both. So I don't know in which terms, but I think it's like the Soul Thieves story. And then we have the Revenge of the Prince. I think Fürsten is a sort of fancier term for a prince. It's like what you call the Russian royals back in the time. They were kings and princes, but they were called something else. Maybe it's like a duke, like the English term. It's a royal title, but it's not prince. Last and finally, I have the Vorkosigan Saga by Lois McMaster Budiel that I like to make some progress on. I read the first book and I would like to move on with the series. It's a science fiction series, and it was really interesting. I really enjoyed the first one, and the next, this is the chronological order that you're supposed to read it if you want to follow the chronological events. This is not the publication order, so it's actually I'm uncertain about this, but I think this is the way I'm supposed to read it. The next one I have to read is Barea, which is the 7th book in publication order. Then we have The Warriors Apprentice, which is the 2nd book in publication order. Then we have Falling Free, which is the 4th book in publication order. And then we have The Wars Game, which is the 5th one in publication order. And then we have Setaganda, which is the 9th book in publication order. But if anyone out there are big Vorkosigan Saga readers and knows that it's a different route I had to take, please let me know, because I don't know any better. But this is the books that I put down to read, and these were all of the series that I intend to try and get progress on over the year. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any of these series on your list to read. If you've read any of the book series, let me know about that as well, and let me know if there's anyone you think I should prioritize before the others. I already have 3 of them that I've mentioned in a different video, which is the big book category, but all of these books, a lot of these series are also just for all sorts of other type of reading, and I think it will keep me settled for a while. And I like that I just made a spreadsheet. I don't like how my writing on this, because I really hate that, but I like that the simplicity of it is just all of the series has like a header, like the pink one, and then I have a small dot at the side, and so when I finish one I'll just put a check mark next to it, so I know, so I sort of can see the progress as I go. And I think it's gonna be fine, a good way. And yeah, so these were all of the books that I have on my list series reading for the year. There's a lot of books on here, but I'm hoping that I can at least make progress on each series in a way, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, this is all I have for you today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.